Hello. In today's presentation, we will talk about Walmart's supply chain resilience during 2005 Hurricane Katrina. This is our project for Operations and Supply Chain Management class. And thank you to our fabulous team who performed this research. This is our agenda for today. We will explore the background. In this case, we studied the supply chain impact, we learned Walmart's response, and we analyzed lessons and key concepts. Now we are ready to jump straight into the background. Greg, the microphone is yours.
Hello. Here is a brief look back at Hurricane Katrina and its impact in 2005. Due to the impact of the storm, 1.5 million residents had to be evacuated, with approximately 40% never to return. During the hurricane and the immediate flooding afterwards, approximately 1,833 people passed away. In New Orleans, 95,000 people lost their jobs, resulting in $2.9 billion in lost wages. The storm caused an estimated $151 billion in damage. Damage to offshore rigs impacted 19% of the country's oil production, leading to increased gas prices following the storm. Hurricane Katrina destroyed the port of South Louisiana, which is the fifth largest port in the world and a key part of America's supply chain. Hurricane Katrina caused significant damages to treatment facilities, water distribution lines, and sewer pipes. Walmart was able to beat the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Red Cross to areas devastated by Hurricane Katrina because they had mastered logistics and supply chain management.
Thank you, Greg, for sharing the information about the background. Now we are ready to explore the supply chain impact. David, the microphone is yours.
Walmart had 123 store closures as a result of Hurricane Katrina, primarily due to power outages. To cope with this, the company sent power generators to stores in areas where power was out for more than a few days. In order to build goodwill in communities where they have stores, Walmart donated water and other supplies as relief. Walmart's logistical leadership monitored weather patterns leading up to the storm and directed supplies to locations around the landfall. Walmart's response was faster and more effective than FEMA and the Red Cross. Data from sales following past hurricanes allowed Walmart to ship the items that were needed the most. Local store managers further improved efficiency by reporting conditions around their stores and gave insight into which items were most in need. Since Hurricane Katrina, Walmart has ramped up their disaster response efforts, including inspections of stores to ensure that infrastructure will withstand potential damage. To ensure they make the most effective response, the corporation gathers information from government authorities. Walmart preemptively ships large amounts of water and other needed supplies to store locations in Sam's Club. Since the supplies are located where customers do their shopping, everyone knows where to go for necessities. Walmart ships power generators, temporary showers, and refrigeration chillers to areas where power outages are predicted.
Thank you, David, for sharing that information. Now we are ready to explore Walmart's response. Matthew, the microphone is yours.
Thank you. Walmart demonstrated supply chain resilience by using advanced technology and analytics. Walmart used its real-time inventory management system to anticipate demand spikes and reroute supplies efficiently. They also established an emergency operations center to better coordinate their response. Walmart was very proactive. They moved emergency supplies such as generators, dry ice, and bottled water from their current warehouse locations to designated staging areas ahead of the storm. This enabled a more rapid response. In total, 160 truckloads of water were staged in surrounding states before the storm. Also, another key advantage that Walmart used in their response strategy was decentralized decision-making. Walmart empowered local managers to make rapid decisions, allowing for rapid and quick responses to ever-changing conditions. Some examples of this include Walmart CEO Lee Scott sent a message directly to his senior staff and told them to pass it down all the way to the store manager level. It said, "A lot of you are going to make decisions above your level. Make the best decision that you can with the information that's available to you at the time, and above all, do the right thing." In several cases, store managers allowed either emergency personnel or local residents to take store supplies as needed. A Kerner, Louisiana employee used a forklift to knock open a warehouse door to get water for a local retirement home. In Mareo, Louisiana, employees allowed local police officers to use the store as a headquarters and a sleeping place because many had lost their homes. The employees did not feel the need to get approval from supervisors before taking these actions, and supervisors later praised them for their good on-the-spot decision-making. One key example was an assistant manager, Jessica Lewis, who was unable to reach her superiors to get permission, decided to run a bulldozer through the ruins of her store to scoop up basics that were not water damaged, which she then plowed into a pile in the parking lot and gave away to residents. Lewis also broke into the store's locked pharmacy to supply critical drugs to a local hospital. Walmart's Jason Jackson, who is the director of business continuity and the leader of Walmart's Emergency Operations Center responding to the hurricane, praised both of her actions and said, quote, "What Jessica did is a good example of autonomy," end quote. Walmart also utilized alternate transportation and communication. After the storm, due to large power outages, Walmart was no longer able to use the same inventory management system that was so successful in staging their supplies before the storm. To mitigate this, they made widespread use of satellite phones to continuously send reports and needed information up their chain of command to the Emergency Operations Center. Walmart also made use of alternate delivery routes to work around road closures and damaged facilities. Despite all the road closures and damage in the area, Walmart was able to deliver 2,450 truckloads of material throughout affected areas. The final key piece of Walmart's response to the situation was Walmart worked in close collaboration with state and federal government agencies such as FEMA, the American Red Cross, and the National Guard. FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate called businesses such as Walmart, quote, "essential members of the disaster response team." And the more resilient businesses are, the quicker they can recover and provide goods and services to help their communities rebuild, end quote. Walmart utilized the scale of its supply chain network and distribution capacity to become a key player in disaster response, providing relief supplies to many affected communities. Walmart was able to do this because they had learned from previous experience and had a plan in place and were proactive. This is all summarized by a quote from Mayor Phil Capitino of Kerner, Louisiana, one of the most affected towns, saying FEMA could not get here, Red Cross could not get here, Homeland Security could not get here. The only one who could get here was the Walmart Corporation. We are extremely appreciative and extremely grateful for them, and we'd certainly suggest that maybe some of those other folks go over and meet the Walmart people so that they can learn distribution and logistics.
Thank you, Matthew, for sharing Walmart's response. Now we are ready to learn about lessons and key concept in this case. John, the microphone is yours.
Lessons and concepts that Walmart learned from the response to Hurricane Katrina were vast. Just in time was a key concept that Walmart utilized in response to Hurricane Katrina, ensuring store locations in impacted areas had additional inventory of critical items communities would need during the disaster. Walmart leveraged analytics on buying patterns from previous storms to plan appropriately on the critical products customers would need in a disaster. These products were staged in key areas that were at low risk to be impacted by the storm, so that when the time was right, they could be delivered to communities in need. Risk management started with Walmart understanding the full scope of potential risks. This included power outages, water damage, impassable roads and bridges. Crisis management allowed the disaster management team and Walmart leadership to enable employees on the ground to make the right decisions without checking in with leadership. Pooling, although costly, was a key decision in Walmart's risk management strategy during Hurricane Katrina. It helped ensure that additional, much-needed supplies were available for the communities impacted by the disaster. These steps allowed Walmart to build a supply chain that was resilient in the face of such a significant disaster. The extensive insight into Walmart's supply chain that had provided it a competitive advantage allowed for dynamic adjustments to production delivery during the disaster. The pre-planning and enhanced demand forecast allowed Walmart to plan well ahead on what products would be in demand. Highly integrated processes across Walmart allowed for agile response during the disaster. Even in a natural disaster, Walmart was prepared to manage the bullwhip effect.
Thank you, John, for sharing the lessons and the key concept. In this case study, we learned that Katrina did cause significant disruptions, including store closures and logistical challenges for the company. And we learned their proactive approach that company was able to implement. Walmart used weather monitoring and data from past hurricane sales to pre-position necessary supplies in the affected areas. In addition to that, the company deployed power generators to stores, distributed essential supplies, and coordinated with local managers to meet community needs more effectively than FEMA or other agencies. So in this case, we learned that a just-in-time strategy allowed the company to ensure inventory was stocked with critical items before and after the storm. The company used data-driven decision-making process. They utilized data from previous events to predict demand more accurately. In addition to that, we learned that risk management is an effective tool. Walmart's investment in contingency planning and dynamic supply chain adjustment provided resilience against distribution. In conclusion, we can state that highlight Walmart's ability to manage the bullwhip effect during the crisis, which reinforced its reputation for supply chain efficiency and community support during disasters. Now we are ready to say thank you for your attention.